Watching you, watching trees, memories of the trees. Watching you, watching me. I stand alone in the cold of an old train station. It was cold in the snow, wind did blow all alone.
Well, today is going to be a very interesting video. I've seen numerous people on social media talk about this, but I don't think many of those people ever really went into detail or in depth because of their lack of experience with this phenomenon. This is none other than the evil eye. First thing you think of when you hear of the evil eye is you think of a person looking at someone and causing them distress, grief, causing ill fortune upon these individuals. But today I want to expound on this and give a greater understanding of what the evil eye is, as well as pretty much methods or things that people utilize to counteract this act. Well, the evil eye has many facets, which is mainly unknown by most, is that it is a universal energy, and many astrologers have linked this power to the constellation of Perseus. But in the constellation of Perseus, going a little bit down, you will see the head of Medusa, or the constellation that is connected to Perseus, which represents the head of Medusa. As we know through the mythology, that they said that she had a piercing look, that when she gazed on anyone, they would become petrified, which means turned into stone. It doesn't take a rocket science to understand what that means. If you understand what happens to red coral or coral in general when you take it out of water, then that will crack your mystery behind what does it mean for those individuals who bestow eyes upon Medusa to turn into stone. Now, moving forward, this manifestation of the evil eye, the reason why they link it to the constellation of Perseus or that of Medusa is because destruction, woe comes about through that constellation. When a planet moves into that constellation, they feel as if the reflection on Earth is utter destruction and mayhem. And those of you who have that ring of Medusa, the domination ring, which I call it, you harness that power of that constellation. So therefore, when you ride in the street and you see things begin to get destroyed, this is the power of that constellation that is with you. Now that I've given an illustration of the power in a universal sense, I want to bring this down to earth, where something that we all can relate to. I remember about 2 years ago, I was in Canada. There was this lady that I was seeing. And this individual wanted me to go out with her. And I chose to stay home, take care of some work, do some business. And this person, when I told this person that I didn't want to go out, this person got furious. They got mad. In the same time where their face displayed it, they didn't really get physical. They didn't, yell or scream or anything like that, but you could see the look on their face was very disturbed. They were very angry. And at the same moment, a lighter just explodes out of nowhere. This person was angry, and coincidentally, quote unquote, a lighter just explodes out of nowhere. This gives you an understanding of the power, that energy that that person was harboring, that anger that that person was harboring was not directed correctly. But now imagine that energy being directed to a person. With that said, of course, I'm a person that's well guarded and protected. That person's hostility was directed towards me, but as I usually say, whatever doesn't penetrate ricochets, so the energy bounced up off me. So I say this to give you an understanding of how this somewhat works down here on a human level. But now, moving a little bit further, prayers that are meant for ill can be considered a working of the evil eye. Because to do your work, you have to focus it on someone. Sometimes, sometimes it has nothing to do with a person gazing at a person. You can be at the comfort of your own home. Some people pray for people's downfall. And this happens. You don't have to be in front of the person to be looking at them. A prayer to see someone's downfall is a form of utilizing the power of the evil eye. The evil eye can work in many ways. It can work in your favor or it can work against you. If you have opposition in front of you, whether you're having an amulet or whether it's a ring that harnesses that power, it can remove it from your presence with the twinkling of an eye. What's in front of you will be gone. But when I say within the twinkling of an eye, why is it that I, in the beginning of this video, have a star roaming around another star? Because this gives you the understanding behind the constellation or the reflection of the constellation of Medusa, or what some people call Algol. The blinking pretty much is what happens when someone is hit with the evil eye. It's a blink that causes misfortune. When a person looks at Medusa and turns into stone, it's because the eye was gazed upon the person and the eye took a blink and no more. But of course, I don't want to get mythology mixed up with practicality because these two things are different. In the practical sense, what you have in the mythology is allegories to explain things that happen in real life. But now moving forward in a practical sense, the evil eye can be used in a form of domination, where one gazes upon a person, but as their gaze penetrates the individual's soul, there are suggestions that can be implanted. I was speaking to someone the other day, and I was saying something about presentation. Presentation pretty much hypnotizes or suggests to people. Where in a sense that a person has something in front of their midst, and here's the post. I'm going to read this. Some people can control minds with presentations. I wrote that the other night on Facebook. Because certain things in front of you, there's certain symbols that your mind, your conscious mind does not understand, but your subconscious gets it. A person can lock eyes with you, and when they lock eyes with you, that is a form of hypnosis. And whatever they present to you in that gaze, it's taken as a suggestion. So the evil eye can be utilized in a form to control someone, to implant ideas in another individual's mind. So when we're talking about the evil eye, this thing is just more than just a gaze. There's a whole bunch of things that transpire in this phenomenon, which we call the evil eye. Now, what can guard against the evil eye? Sometimes I would say it's best to eliminate those people around us that harbor jealousy and envy in their hearts. Because whether they know it or not, sometimes the evil eye can just be the person looking at you or thinking about you and with hatred, and that energy is released upon your life. So those who have that poison in their heart, they can wish evil upon you, or not wishing evil, they can harbor hatred in their heart for you, and that hatred becomes what we call maldición, or maldición in Spanish. And things transpire in your life. Your car breaks down. You get into an accident. You lose money. So now, what can we do about these things? There's many amulets. They said that it was a mirror that caused Medusa to die. She gazed into the mirror, and as she gazed into the mirror, she was mesmerized by or hypnotized by her own image, and Perseus cut her head off. That's according to the mythology. But there's a deep mystery behind that. What does the symbol of the eye represent? It is no different from a mirror. So when you gaze upon it, it sends back whatever you send into it. The mirror is the greatest weapon against the evil eye. There is also amulets, there's rings as well. But a mirror is one of the greatest form as well as the cheapest form, or the cheapest weapon against the evil eye. And this is why they stated in the mythology that Medusa gazed into the mirror, and from there her head was chopped off. Like, share, and subscribe.